Welcome back, and we're here at the Creston Museum with the manager of the Creston Museum, Tammy Bradford. Tammy, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. It's a
Now,
pleasure.
and Tammy, you've been here for over 19 years now.
Yes.
You came here back in 1998.
Yep. First day on the job was May 1st.
Wow. So what do you remember about all that time ago?
Oh, my goodness. I remember that was a very scary year. Day, I should say, because we were opening an extension on the archives building up there. And my first day on the job, I had been on the job for 20 minutes. I am meeting the press, I'm meeting the mayor, it was Leela Irving at the time. I'm supposed to be welcoming people to this site that I knew virtually nothing about. So yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking.
And talking about that experience, because you came from Balfour, so you didn't come from. You had been to Creston before, you'd spent some time here, but the job of a museum manager requires you to have a certain amount of knowledge about the area, probably more so than other people in the community. So how long did it take you to get that really in-depth understanding of Creston?
I'll let you know when I get it. There's always something. You know, I started off very, very broad terms, and fortunately I've got a mind for useless trivia. So the significant dates in Creston's history, you know, staking of the town site 1891, the incorporation as a village in 1924, these broad things I had pretty easily, pretty quickly, you know, within a matter of days I had that. And fortunately there were some resources to help, a brief history that had a chronology and such, and I've just kind of built on it from there.
Has your job here changed the way you may have perceived the town when you first moved here, the things you know about it, or have you got a different opinion of the town now?
I wouldn't exactly say it's a different opinion precisely, because I've always liked Creston coming through, but it was never a place, you know, if you'd asked me 25 years ago if I thought I'd wind up living in Creston, the answer would have been no. I'd have probably laughed, because it was never on my radar as a place I really wanted to go to. So when I started working here, everybody, me, my parents, my family, even people here, figured that this would be a really good place to start. 5 years here, get some experience, and then move on to any museum pretty much anywhere. And I don't think I had been here 6 months before I realized that this is a fantastic little town. It's a great place to be. It's very friendly, very welcoming, very warm. It's everything I need. There's lots to do. And there's also the wide open spaces, which is so important to me. I love being able to just drive for 5 minutes and I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and I can walk for hours, and you know, it's fantastic.
And being in a small town, each person's role within that town, I think the responsibility to the town is amplified. Do you see, what do you see as your responsibility to this town in your role as the manager of the museum?
First of all, bare bones, my job is to make local history fun. You know, it's a stereotype. Unfortunately, the way history is often taught in schools, we come away with it thinking history is nothing but a bunch of names and dates, and it's not. That's chronology. That is not history. My job is to make people see the history, the people behind those names and dates, the challenges that they encountered and overcame, the challenges that they continue to face even to this day, and that's something that we're trying to do more and more of, is show how the past has shaped and informed and is continuing to shape and inform our present and our future. So that's what I like to think I do.
And given that you are the only manager here, and you don't have a lot of I guess paid support, how important are the volunteers in this town to you? And what is it about the small town? Do you think that the opportunity to get volunteers is a little bit easier, perhaps?
I don't think it's easier in a small town to recruit the volunteers, because you are recruiting from a smaller body of people, and there's a lot of competition for those people. But on the flip side, you know people, and you know, I know these people, they know somebody else. If we have something that we need done, I have to make one phone call and I'm in touch with somebody who knows how to do it and is at least willing to come down and give me some suggestions on how to do it. So that is wonderful, you know, this small town feeling, the idea that everybody knows everybody else and knows who is willing to help and who might be able to offer advice, and knowing that I can phone people up who I've never talked to before and ask them some weird random question like, I need to move a logging arch. How do I do that? And they go, oh, okay. And they come up with it, you know.
So I would assume that for you the 19 years have sort of flown by.
Yes.
When you started, did you have a vision for where you wanted the museum to be, and have you reached that vision in the 19 years, or is there still room?
I think so. For me, I am actually, believe it or not, one of these people who did not like museums until I was 16. I disliked them. I found them very dull, very boring. I loved history, did not like museums. You know, you'd walk in and there's these display cases full of things. And I remember walking into museums and there'd be this person in this little room who would take your money, and then that was it. You didn't interact with anyone or anything until you left 15 or 20 minutes later. And that was not what I liked about history. I liked the stories and the connection and the actual doing things. So yeah, I guess my vision for this museum when I started was not boring. You know, however you want to interpret it, I know that's very vague, but that's just it. I was not going to be the manager of a boring museum. And yeah, I think we've accomplished that. We do still have the display cases full of things, but we also offer guided tours. We've got lots of interpretive things, lots of hands-on interactive things that you can do here, even when we don't have a big event going on.
And how about the next 19 years? What have you got planned? Do you have anything? Is there anything in the crystal ball? Anything planned for the museum going forward?
We are right now in the midst of an exhibit evaluation. Because we are a community museum, we really want to make sure that our exhibits and the programs that we build around them really do reflect what the community wants other people to know about the communities, whether it should be all permanent long-term things or a mix of long and short-term exhibits, whether they should be interactive or whether the artifacts in them should be completely hands-off and idealized, for lack of a better word. So yeah, we're really trying to get that feedback and learn from the community what we should be doing next. So at this point, it's going to be fun, it's going to be busy, but it's impossible to predict exactly what that's going to look like.
Awesome. Tammy, well, thank you very much for joining us on Where You Live. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
And stick around, we've got more coming up after the break.